Good morning, Lana Scott Lighthouse, guys. This is a reading for the air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. I tried to do this reading for the past 2 days, and I tried to do it with my regular deck, and it seemed like it just, and I would lose the train of thought, and then I would give it a break. I'd come back. I would try to do it again. And so what I finally was understanding is that because I found out it happened to someone else, and I thought maybe there's a message in that. So they're wanting me to do it more on an intuitive level of the energies that I've been picking up on. So I went into my Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rose Campbell and shuffled out the cards, and every time I cut them, I said, show me what it is you want to show me. So this is what we've got. What I've been picking a lot up on for the past week is I've been picking up on that, first of all, it's an angel message, an ancestor message coming from, all of your spiritual council members. I've been getting a lot of intuitive hits about past lives, Akashic records, past lives where, like, if you've been getting a feeling of like feelings and emotions without knowing where they're coming from, this message is for you. First of all, what they've given me is they've given me the mirror card, okay? And this mirror card is talking about what is triggering you. If you're feeling emotion, maybe some emotions and things from that don't really have a memory attached to them. It could be from either a past life that is trying to be shown to you. That is something you've done over and over again in past lives, even flowing over into this life that you have not healed. Some kind of trauma, some kind of wound that is one of the things that may be blocking you from a path you're meant to take, a lesson you're supposed to learn, a healing you're supposed to do. So if you've been having any kind of, if you've been waking up with memories of a dream that it's kind of like causing some kind of emotional pain, okay, there may be a past, they may be trying to show you a past life, either a past life or a young childhood wound that you haven't healed from. So what it feels like that they're trying to say is that it's time to release some of the past stuff that is holding you back from becoming truly who you are meant to be. Because in the next card that we have the Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Because sometimes when your soul gets a wound or some kind of a trauma that cuts really deep, it's hard to, if you don't heal it correctly, sometimes it can leave a scar that still has a little bit of a wound in it that has not healed, okay? So if you're feeling like something triggers you or, like I said again, maybe memories or pieces of just feelings that you don't know where they're coming from, or maybe you have a conversation with someone and something in the back of your mind goes click and you're like, and you kind of feel a little bit of pain, or you feel like, what was that? But you're not really stopping and paying attention to it. They're telling you to slow down, and especially if you find later that it makes you mad or it aggravates you and you somehow act out, but you don't know why. They're saying it's time to try to figure out what that is so that you can heal it. And again, it's something that may be coming from a wound that didn't heal from a past life that you've brought through every single life that's now showing you in this life. And they're saying now is the time to heal that. I don't know if y'all see it or not, but they're pulling my attention to what looks like an eye in this card. Okay. Because even if you don't remember it, your higher self is going to remember it. Okay. Because your higher self has been through every single lifetime with your soul has gone through all the lifetimes as one being. You're just in this physical body at this point. So meditation, journaling, sitting down and just trying to cut off from mass everything. Spend some time with yourself. Go out in nature. Maybe try to even do some automatic writing. Or and I have found that journaling really helps. If you sit down and just start writing, you'd be amazed at the things that come through. So if you ask and set an intention first, say to yourself, okay, so what's this little thing that keeps coming up? Okay. And maybe if it feels like it's a fear, write down the word fear and start writing from that. Or fear, past life. Use some journal prompts to help yourself figure out, what is it I need to heal right now? What is it that is the universe is trying to tell me that I've carried in my soul over lifetimes, that it's now time to unbind. It's time to let it go. It's time to heal it. Okay. So then the next card we have is the crumbling. And they're saying, what are you clinging on to? So this card really speaks to me about these lightning strikes, light coming in from your higher self. That's saying that some type of wound that has not closed, that needs to be closed so that and healed, so you can go into the future. Okay. Because when I look at this, it looks like a door opening up with all these windows, and with this path right here headed towards the light. Do you want to stay back on this side where it's all dark and, you know what I'm saying? Because it's an open wound. I feel like this lightning here is kind of sort of in a way showing the different lifetimes where every time you get a wound, you either, you go off somewhere. You're not staying on your true path because of something still being open from either this lifetime, a past lifetime, or over many lifetimes. So sometimes if you sit and you do some type of journaling or prayer, or even just sit and see what kind of childhood memories come up for you, a guided meditation can help you to figure out what it is you need to heal to move on. Okay. So then the last card they gave me was a dark, I think this is either a solar or a lunar eclipse. Okay. And we've got the seven sisters here, and we've got protection. They're letting you know that they are protecting you, but they're saying that this is somehow interfering with your power. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You may even have one part, like this may be you here, and over these past lifetimes, you may have not healed this wound that's just gone through with you all these lifetimes, that now they're saying at the forefront, this is the lifetime that's meant to heal this. Now, this card has a dual meaning for me. This card has one meaning while I was talking about this soul retrieval, okay? But the other day when I was looking at it, it was talking about the seven sisters, and that's in the Pleiades system. So that may have something also to do with star energy. So you may have your star family. If you feel like you have if you feel like you're a star seed, you may have messages coming through from your star seed family saying it's time to heal this wound. Okay. It could even be something that you carried over from the very first lifetime when you were nothing but a seed that came from another galaxy that landed here. If you believe in that, not everybody does. Okay. I remember being as a small child at like 5 or 6 years old, literally looking up to the sky, going and saying out loud in my front yard, when are you coming to get me? Because I felt so out of place. I still feel out of place a lot of times. And back in the day, I used to think it was my ADHD. Once I found out what that was and that I had it and my kids had it. And I thought that's why I felt that way. But it's not. It's because my soul's been through so many lifetimes, and I've been on, sometimes on my path, sometimes not on my path. I've carried old wounds with me that I'm now working on healing. And I just feel like they're saying that if you feel like you have starseed energy, that could be one thing that's coming through to you, telling you to heal anything that you have carried over many, many lifetimes. Okay. I used to know of a spell working that where you could take all of your burnt down candle stubs, melt them all together, and use them to call back bits of your soul, wounds that have caused your soul to fracture. Okay. I don't know if anyone's ever, how many people have ever seen the lady Amy, I can't remember Amy's last name, from the Dead Files. They actually went to a place one time where she told a guy that he was reincarnated of a man whose soul had fractured, and different parts of his soul had gotten stuck in different lifetimes. And he had a fraction of that soul. And that was one of the reasons why that man's past energy from a past lifetime was hanging onto the building they were in. He said, she told him, you owned this building at one time when your soul was in his body. And he fractured, went through all this. He went through some kind of mental breakdown, and only a piece of his soul came back, came into you. You don't have all the pieces, you just have a piece of it. And so this piece of the soul that he had and the soul of the man that had passed away, that's why they were having all these energies show up. So guys, that can affect you. I really believe that. Okay. So maybe you might want to, if you burn candles, take the stubs and melt them all together and write a little ritual for yourself of saying, I heal this wound. I call back all my fractured soul pieces, and, you know, and then after they melt down into nothing again, get rid of it somehow. Either bury it on your property or throw it in a fireplace where it can totally melt down. Or you can even do the same thing on a piece of paper. You can write down what you have, what your intention is of calling back any fractured, lost piece of your soul or your higher self that you've lost over lifetimes, calling it back. Guys, this is a very empowering thing you can do for yourself. Okay. So that was the biggest part of the message that I got for the air signs. And I feel like if you focus on healing whatever this is that I'm picking up on, that and there's other alternate ways too. Sometimes people can look through their own religious beliefs. Depends on what kind of religion you believe in. So, but that is a way of being able to help heal some kind of that wound. Then the other thing they were telling me was that there is also going on right now, some souls are being able to, on the astral level, ask their angels and spirit guides to take them to the Akashic Records, or you are either being able to go to the Akashic Records to look up things that you need to know. There's a variety of ways to do this as well. Depends on what your religious beliefs is, but that is what I have been picking up on. And it makes more sense to present it this way than it does because the cards just were not giving me a storyline that made sense to me, to my logical mind and my intuitive mind at the same time. So instead, I just meditated, and this is what I pulled. So this is what I have for the air signs today. Guys, I hope this helps. If this resonates with you, I'm going to assume that it's yours right now. I did put up something on my community page. I have been going back and looking at past messages from some of my, especially San from Santero, and have found that some of her readings resonate more today than they did when they came out, before I ever even saw any of her messages and when I first started checking into her. So guys, messages are not linear. If this message doesn't resonate with you today, it might resonate a month in the future. You can be anywhere along this timeline. Time is not linear. They keep telling me that over and over again. And that's been another big message I've been getting. So if this message resonates, it's for you at this time. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. Lana Scott Lighthouse. Guys, be a light in the darkness. Your spirit guides, your angels, they are always with you. Okay? And here pretty soon, too, I think I may be doing a reading about, I've been called to pull out my crystals again. But I'm not going to make no promises, because it seems like every time I tell y'all I'm going to do something specifically, something comes up in our day-to-day living that I get thrown off course because we have to go take care of something. So I'm just going to play it by ear, and I hope this resonates. Lana Scott Lighthouse.